Hello. Sorry, I'm late. This is really for posterity. I'm super late. So give me a second to get set up. I'm gonna throw on a little music. Oh, there's nothing new from Cracked. Nice. Gonna play some of this music. Play all. There we go.
You need a website.
Oh, I don't need a website that bad.
With Wix,
I don't want to do it myself.
Your own professional website.
Let's skip that. Oh yeah. Yeah. Still opening up my stuff like Photoshop. Kind of need that to be open, you know. I'm tired tonight. It's a long day at work, but I'm off tomorrow, and I'm just showing up to show up. To be honest, like I'm just gonna do some work. It's gonna be 15-20 minutes. Shoot the breeze, you know, because there's breezes. Letting the people know what I'm doing. Drop that down for a minute. Share my stream. Yeah, we're live. It's happening. It's happening right now. Live streaming. Unprepared live stream. I'm just not even prepared for this. I'm not ready, but I'm here. We're gonna do this. Let's see. Let's see what's on page. I did page 17 the other night. Let's see. Let's open up page 18. And see what that looks like. Page 18. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, this is one I've been waiting on. All right, cool. It has some background in there. Some other stuff that might be fun to ink and play with. So let's see what we got going on some of these pages. Looks like I got some lightened sturf. Let's see here. Backgrounds. Wait. Oh, nice. All right, let's bring up the opacity on those backgrounds. See what we got. All right. This is gonna be awesome. I've been wanting to do this for a minute now. Let's see. That should get rid of. No. All right. Where are my drawings? My line drawings. Is this all me right here? Let's see here. Oh yeah. All right. So for this page, we're just gonna do some no colors tonight. I decided against it already. Forgot what I was. Forget that. We're gonna just do some inks. Let's just do some inks. Let's ink this page, and we'll ink this whole page tonight. And that's how we'll do it. That's what we'll do. We're inking tonight. Just this page, and then I'm gonna get XSplit loaded up and play some Mass Effect 3 because I'm just kind of over it today. Today was a long day at work. It just was. Oh boy, alright. But this makes me feel so much better. I forgot this page existed. And I liked doing it, it was fun. I'm probably not gonna ink the trees, but the trees will look way less rough than this. Because these are pencils, and I'm gonna lose some of this extraness and really get in there with an ink pen and ink it, but not tonight. I don't feel like doing that kind of detail live. It just would suck for me to try and do all that live. Let's turn those back down so I can see what I'm doing. And then, oh, these ink layers are gonna have to go above the backgrounds. I'm gonna move the backgrounds up eventually. But for now, let's do our ink layer here. And I'm just gonna name it so I can remember. There we go. Ink layer. Ink layer. All right, that was silly. Okay, what we got here? Let's start off with like my deep blacks. Yeah, deep blacks. All right, and we'll just bring the fill down a little bit to like maybe 72. That's perfect. That was not intentional. I was gonna say whatever it was. I was gonna say that was on purpose, but now I'm just gonna tell on myself. Oh, okay, a little stretch, and I might stop for a second and go put some coffee in my cup. But let's just get into it. Oh yeah, I am so into this. Wow. Now, this is pointless actually because that tree branch is going to cover that, so I don't need to. Well, let's see. For now, we'll leave that alone. Once I do the trees, then I'll go back in and look at the way yeah. It's Indecisive Thursday, baby. That's right. Let's just go with our favorite inking brush, which is actually, I believe, a crayon. I'm inking with a crayon because it's Photoshop, and Photoshop is awesome like that. And yeah, this is my night's improving already, just like that, just like that. I came home and I was just so drained. Oh, I'm missing my glove, my Michael Jackson glove. Oh, uno momento. I gotta get my glove or I'll make my screen all gross. Hold on. Killed two birds with one stone. Got my glove and a cup of coffee. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm back. If you hear some jingling in the background, I didn't dump loose change everywhere. My dog, she has new tags, and so her tags are like, she's like the ghost from Ebenezer Scrooge's story. So everywhere she goes now, we can hear, which is cute because she's adorable. We used to call her name is Miss Piggy, but she stopped being so piggy, and now she's like Miss Svelte, super like slim and adorable. Like she's always been a cutie pie, but she's just like the cutest cutie pie of all cutie pie dogs. You know, she's a little older, but our youngest dog has really brought out her energy level up super high since they started getting along so famously. After a 2,000-mile road trip, that'll happen. They made friends. She was kind of iffy about young Nathan for the longest time. She was like, I think I'm gonna bite him when y'all ain't looking. That's what I'm gonna do. He can sleep here, but when no one's looking, I'm gonna bite his ass. And she did too. She'd be like, come here. She'd bite that motherfucker. He'd be like, will you tell her to stop biting me, please? But he would ask for it. He'd keep messing with her. And she'd be like, all right, look, man, I told you to back up. She'd bite that fool. He'd be like, I can't win. But now they play all the time, and she's has so much more energy since they started playing together. I mean, just, it's amazing. It's amazing. But yeah, she's adorable. The cutest dog. I'm going to go ahead and ink his whole jacket because I'm still not sure if I want him to bleed out of the frame anymore. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but I don't know. We'll see. Oh, pressure sensitivity is so awesome. Yeah, I couldn't stop thinking about Warframe at work today. I haven't really gotten into the game that much in a long time, and I started really getting into it, like going through my normal way I play, like, you know, like the order of operation and how I want to get things done when I play the game. And so, like, I got all these frames and all these weapons that I don't even mess with anymore. I just run around with my regular Excalibur frame because I don't feel like having people watch me do maintenance. But I may have to, like, log in at some point tomorrow, even though technically tomorrow's a draw day. Like, I was so proud of myself on my last day off, Tuesday. I didn't play one single video game. I spent the entire time drawing, and I felt good about that. Because it's so easy to be like, well, you know, I can take a minute or two to play this video game. It's like, no, you really can't. You can't. You can't take a minute or two. If you take a minute, it's a minute's gonna be an hour, and then you've been spending all this time playing video games. You should have been drawing. So I didn't. Not a single game. I'm pretty sure. Watch I look at my feed and like I played like 3 games that day. Probably not though. I'm pretty sure I didn't play any games. Alright, YouTube with this music. I like this. Oh, I jinxed it. Watch, next song's gonna be like something on a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I did it to myself though. I did that shit. Oh yes, this is what I needed. I sat there at dinner going, am I gonna sit there? Am I gonna log in? I want to keep the streak alive. I got, except for Monday, no show on Saturday and Sunday. So Monday through Friday, I want to do 1 show a night at very least, even if it's only for 15 to 20 minutes. And I was like, tonight, man, no one's even really gonna know if I don't do a show tonight. Like, my show's not that popular, you know. It's not like I got people hitting me up, when's the show gonna air? Like, it's not like that yet. And it may be like that one day. And I think if it is like that one day, it'll be because of nights like this when I was like, I don't really feel it. And then I was like, you know what? Suddenly, I got a message. I don't know what that is. Oh, never mind. It's just a game. I'm playing Avengers Academy every once in a while. Okay, all right. That's interesting. Oh. A lot of messages. Interesting. We'll see. I was distracted. Alright though. Oh yeah. I should put this music on repeat. One of the friends I made on Twitch, Lift Protocol, gave me some Twitter love the other day, which was super awesome and nice and cool. You know? And I checked out their Twitter feed. Like, I went to their Twitter page and I followed them and everything. And I saw a picture of their rig. And it's incredible. I was so jealous. I'm like, oh, I don't even play with a keyboard and mouse like that, but man, still, you gotta recognize the awesomeness of that rig. Yeah, oh gosh, it was like everything about the rig said, I'm not fucking around. I'm about to play these games. And then I watched some footage. She's on he or she. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I don't know Lift Protocol gender. I I'm not sure. I'm not even gonna go any farther than that. I don't know what it is. So that's why I keep saying they. I can't quite be sure. You know. Anyway, they're on a team called Small Streamers, I think is the name of the team. And oh, dude, they play Mech Warrior Online. And I watched some videos of a match they were in, and it was dope. It was another guy on the team who they were out there letting fools have it. It was impressive. I remember playing like old school Mech Warrior on like Sega Genesis, where it was a 3/4 view game where you could see your little mech on the screen, you know, and run around, and oh my gosh. And then I played a little what was it called? I played Armored Core one of the brief times I had a PlayStation, and I think they made a version of Armored Core for Xbox, but I don't really think I got too much into it. But yeah, I've always liked mech games because I'm a huge Gundam fan, and I even have, and I might actually drag that out of mothballs and play that because I got it on Steam. I got Front Mission, and if you've never played Front Mission before, I played like the only thing I've ever bought off of eBay, and it was actually ended up being bogus, is I bought a copy of Front Mission 2, I believe, on eBay. And Front Mission was a mech version of essentially Final Fantasy Tactics. And it played like a combination of Tactics and Shining Force. If you never played Shining Force was a Genesis game that probably predated Tactics by a very short window, and they made a couple of them. You could look up the franchise. I want to say Shining the Holy Ark, or one of the early Shining games, was one of the early PC games, and it was originally, it looked like a 3D kind of Doom style game, you know, but when they got Shining Force came out, it was a turn-based strategy game, like a role-playing game, OG like tabletop type game. And I played the crap out of Shining Force, and I played the crap out of Front Mission 2 or 3. I think it was 2. And so, like, I mean, I couldn't find it for PlayStation after I lost my original copy or whatever. And so I found it on eBay and ordered it, and it got sent to me, and it was just bogus. It was all scratched up and it wouldn't work, and I was so disappointed. And this is like probably like 2001, 2002. And I don't think I've ever gone back to order anything from eBay again. Even though I did bid on the monitor I'm using now, like literally this monitor that I'm drawing on now, I bid on a version of it on eBay and lost out on the bid. You know, which is fine. It's not eBay's fault. None of that's eBay's fault. I don't have any issue with eBay and how they do business. It's just that I had a negative experience and it just didn't seem like a worthwhile endeavor to try it again, to be quite honest. But man, Front Mission, oh gosh, such a great game. But the version I got for Steam is like Front Mission 3 or 4 maybe, or it may not even have a number. It may be just a subtitle thing. But it's plays like Mass Effect a little bit, like a third person kind of shooter situation with the whole mech thing. But instead of being a turn-based RPG, it's like a live mech fighting game. And it likes my controller, which is nice. And I just started playing it, and then I had a couple other games I was playing, and then I just kind of like stopped playing. And it wasn't because the game wasn't fun, it's because it was just like the over game syndrome. Like I got too many games to play, and Front Mission sort of got dropped by the wayside, you know, unfortunately. But I still have it, you know. Cool thing about Steam is I'll always have it as long as I have a Steam account. I'll have Front Mission, whatever it is called, because I have the game. Now her arm is definitely not going to stick out of the frame, so I'm not going to waste the ink. I said waste the ink. It's a computer program. Awesome. But yeah, like, so I might play a little Front Mission at some point for the people. For the people. Oh, and I put Sherlock Holmes on my wish list so I wouldn't forget that it's there, and I'm gonna get Sherlock Holmes. There's two Sherlock Holmes games, and I'm not 100% sure if it's the same maker, but one of them has sort of an artistic leaning towards the Robert Downey Jr. Iteration of the character. Like it kind of looks like him a little bit as far as the way his clothing and stuff goes, and especially Watson looks he looks a lot like Jude Law, whereas Sherlock looks a little bit more like Basil such and such from the original 1940s films. But yeah, I'm gonna play as soon as I get some little extra cash. Not this first paycheck. I can't just blow all my money on video games and whatnot. Basically, video game subscriptions, and I think I gotta get. I gotta make sure that my copy of not 3ds Max, but I got another 3D program I need to start using to save even more time. I got some homework to do. I gotta read up on how to get the most out of it, but I have a copy of it on my Fujitsu, and so I don't know if I can just whip it over to my tower, so I may have to buy a copy. But first I want to read up on how to best implement it and utilize it. And so my buddy sent me some links on YouTube to watch some tutorials on basically using that program to do more of this kind of work in the process. Because if you see some of my videos, you'll see the design doll stuff. Well, I can maybe take that idea a step further and get farther along in the process. It's only worth it to me if it's efficient. So if I have to spend hours and hours rigging, then I won't bother. But I may not have to. The only way I'll know for sure is to do my homework. So we'll see. And if you're thinking that the finished result is super important, I agree with you. But time is a factor as well. It is always a factor. Oh yeah. In the coming weeks, as this bad boy gets closer to being finished, and I need to start spending a lot more time just focusing on finishing, I'm going to transition away from covering this on my show and start preparing videos and segments for the next sort of live project. Like Metro PD and the New World Chronicle books will just continue to be worked on a daily basis. But for the show, I'm going to start moving over to doing a graphic novel that I think will be more attractive to people who support artists on services like Patreon. It's called The Lineage of Dirge. It's based on a novel I wrote that I'm going to just basically... some ideas I had for a rewrite of the novel itself, instead of writing another novel, because I remember today that I'm writing a book. I forgot about the book I'm writing. I literally forgot about it. I was at work thinking about Lineage of Dirge and said, oh wait a minute, I'm totally writing a book right now. And I think it's called The Network, which is, I know that sounds strange that I can't remember what it's called, but I just started working on it a few months ago. And then when all this moving stuff happened, I just shelved it. And yeah, I'm not that far into it, of course, because that way I'd remember it more if I was. But that's my next, prose, words on paper situation. No pretty pictures. And so I'm not going to worry about Lineage of Dirge for now in the novel sense and just work on the graphic novel. And so, but some of the things I wanted to make changes wise on the Lineage of Dirge story, which is basically a way to tell the story differently, I'm going to apply that for the graphic novel, and I think that will give it a sense of freshness. So I'm going to get a chance to not just regurgitate my story verbatim, but make all the changes that were suggested to me that I agreed with, which was, most of them. and do it to where I feel like I'm making progress and not sort of trying again in the same medium. Because something about the book existing and being in the world as a thing makes me hesitant to go in and try and do it again. Like, I don't know. I think I should let that stand, you know? Is a valiant first effort. And then instead of trying to go back and fix that, a book that's already technically published and in existence, I'm just gonna do the graphic novel better, you know? And so I've been thinking about the opening sequences and what it's gonna take to kind of get the novel, the graphic novel, to where I wanted the original book to be. You know, the mistakes I made in certain areas where I could have done a better job. Really and truly, like, the issue was there was no real voice. It was an omniscient voice kind of book. And at the time, that felt easier. But I didn't realize that it was actually far more difficult to do it that way. I could have made it easy on myself and told the story from one character's perspective and let them tell the story and dictate what I described and how, you know. And so that's going to be where most of the difference lies in terms of the graphic novel. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to use the opportunity to do a new thing with a fresh sort of take on it, you know, with still having my story that I originally envisioned. So yeah, that's, and I think also in terms of the nightly show at work with Dante Maddox, like, that will have a lot more material and a sense of beginning for people who might be interested in what I'm doing here but feel like, man, he's on page 18 of some book I don't understand. I don't feel like watching old episodes. Well, when I start working on the graphic novel, which might be in about 2 weeks, because I still think I have some more information to provide in terms of this comic book on this show. So, and I'm thinking about maybe 2 weeks from now, when I'm really bearing down and just working on getting this book published, then I can transition over to the graphic novel, and with that novel I can really, well, that was weird. That's oh, I'm holding it down. That's interesting. Didn't know that did that. Basically, oh wait, get my brush back. I'm gonna start from the very, very beginning, which is character design. Like, the characters are drawn in artistic form, but it's a book, a regular book. So there's no pictures. It's just like, you know, words with friends, but not so much, you know. But anyway, so I'm gonna be able to go and start from scratch and redesign the characters for the comic book. You know, get brand new looks and the whole 9 yards, and just really think about how I told my story, what worked, what didn't, and like all that good stuff. And so for that, I'll have video of literal character design. Like, who is this character? What does he look like? Well, I'm going to show you what he looks like by drawing him right here, right now, you know. And I think that will work. I like the idea of being able to start the project from scratch live, because I can spend any number of days drawing out the character sketches, all that initial setup stuff, and you can see that creative process get started. You know, where the characters were inspired as far as their physical appearance and look. Like, what stories did I read that were like, oh wow, I could really use that, you know, image to make this character do what it do, you know. And so that's the plan. And I'm thinking about maybe like 2 weeks from now being able to get started on that in earnest. We shall see. We shall. Oh, and the music got real weird. The music's weird for me. I don't know how it is for you right now, but this music's kind of weird for me. I don't know if I like this. And then again, it's not that bad. Oh, this is so much fun. And I'm gonna probably dump out of this image. I mean, not completely, but I'm gonna redo it. I don't like it. I just don't. That's the truth. I don't like it. Just this one panel. I mean, it works technically, but I need to probably do some Photoshop on this and kind of get it back to where it needs to be. Yeah, I don't like that. I do like it at all. I like that building though. It's a nice looking building back there. I don't know if I got any sports fans out there, but John Saunders passed away last night at 61 years old. It was really sad to see sports anchors on Twitter and on television talk about how awesome he was and how sad they were that he passed away. And it's interesting to me sometimes you just sort of take things for granted. You just assume certain things are always going to be the way they are, and it just you don't know someone personally, but you do know pain, and you do know how hard it is to deal with loss in your own life. And when you see someone else dealing with that, it's relatable. And last night I saw some people, public figures, who are honestly having a hard time with the loss of a friend. And you may not know the friend, but you know your own friends if you lost. And it was rough. It was sad. Get you to thinking. And I think that's kind of the point sometimes. It gets you to thinking. Yeah, this tube might have to go. I don't like it. I can probably color it and stuff and make it work, force it in there, but we'll see. I've been standing outside on my break at work looking at the buildings in the little industrial area. It's like Atlanta has a lot of downtowns, it feels like. On my way to work, I drive through like 3 sections of tall buildings. It reminds me a little bit of downtown LA a little bit. Not quite as many tall buildings, but the format feels very familiar. And I love the artistry of, well, buildings, I guess. These inks on these buildings aren't going to stay like this. I just kind of want to see them a little bit better when I zoom out. I'm going to take an eraser to some of this stuff, eventually. And I don't have to tighten up these floating, moving things. I know that just kind of threw them in there as placeholders. And that's the thing, I don't know how, well, I will have like video of the work being done at my own normal pace, but I don't know that I'll have any sort of narration or liveness to it because I just sometimes don't feel like having that time pressure, I guess. So some of the stuff is gonna have to get like cleaned up, super nice and whatnot. Let's have a look here. See what we got. Oh, looks like some shade. Some shade. All right, looking like shady. Ah, all right. And we're gonna get rid of that. We're not getting rid of it. We're gonna clean that up. We're gonna fix that. Not tonight. I'm gonna call it right here. I'm gonna save this. It was progress made. Damn it. But I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna drink some of this coffee I poured. I ain't take a sip yet. It's hot though. That's okay. And I'm gonna go and do a little chore action. Come on, there you go, baby. All right, I'm gonna do a little chore action, and then I'm gonna come back and get my X-Patter going. And if I can't get X-Patter to go in like 2 seconds, because I'm realizing that I gotta also format it again for the Mass Effect 3, I may wait on Mass Effect 3 and just play some Warframe before I pass out, because I feel tired, because I am tired. I'm pooped. That's the word of the day. Pooped. I'm pooped. So I'm probably gonna just, yeah, I got Mass Effect 3 all loaded up. It's there. It'll be there. But I think it's gonna be a Warframe night. I'm still trying to get some Netane extract so I can build this sword I got. It's so dope looking. I want to use it on people. Alright, so I'm gonna call it here. This episode should air on YouTube tomorrow, along with yesterday's episode or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, it'll get out there. I'll stop being lazy. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, yeah, tomorrow's Friday. I'll see you guys tomorrow.